Good day and welcome to Tejas Networks Q1 FY2024 earnings conference call hosted by ICICI Securities Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode. There will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rushad Kapadia from ICICI Securities Limited. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Q1 FY24 results Concall for Tejas Networks. We have with us from the management, Mr. Anand Athreya, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, Mr. Arnab Roy, Chief Operating Officer and Whole-Time Director, Mr. Venkatesh Gadiyar, Chief Financial Officer, and Dr. Kumar Sivarajan, Chief Technology Officer. So without further delay, I would now like to hand over the floor to the management for their opening comments. Thank you and over to you, sirs.
Hello, hi, this is Arnab Roy, the Chief Operating Officer of the company, and welcome everyone to our quarterly earnings call. I'll start with, on the first slide, we'll start with a quick update for the quarter. So we had a net revenue of 188 crores for Q1, and as opposed to 120 crores in the Q1 of FY23. We also had a loss of 26 crores as opposed to a loss of 7 crores in FY23, Q1 FY23. We are a zero debt company and with the cash and cash equivalents of 943 crores. And we also have a healthy order book at the end of Q1 at 1,900 crores. Some of the key highlights that happened during the quarter is that our business momentum for wireline continues to be strong. Some of the significant events were receiving initial orders for deployment of our GPON OLT supplies to a Tier 1 telco in India, and this is for their nationwide deployment. We also commissioned a nationwide end-to-end Tejas products-based network across GPON access, packet aggregation, and OT and WDM core for a large customer in Italy. This is a very significant showcase network for us in Europe, and it is managed. The end-to-end network is managed by our network management software. We also one of our highlights has been turning up a very high-capacity WDM link, long-distance link, connecting data sectors for an operator in Africa using our state-of-the-art 400 gig per channel WDM technology. In the wireless business, the highlight was the successful commissioning of a pilot network of 200 sites for BSNL's 4G network in Punjab. And from this quarter, we will be ramping up our volume supplies from this quarter onwards. And the BSNL has also announced a successful beta launch of the network on July 15th, based on this 200 sites that we deployed. On supply chain front, we appointed Sembian Venkateshan as our Chief Supply Chain Officer. Sembian is an industry veteran with an experience of close to 30 years in manufacturing and supply chain management, and his past experience has been in heading supply chain in Motorola, Nokia, Foxconn. We also expanded our capacity significantly for executing the upcoming large shipment volumes for BSNL 4G. We were also recognized with several awards during the quarter. We were awarded DataQuest Pathbreaker of the Year award for our outstanding work and contributions to India's ICT industry. Concall has received the Mark Ritter Industry Leadership Award from ATSC for their contribution to the standards as well as the innovative products in this area. We also granted 50 patents were granted during the year, taking our total patent count to 267 patents. I'll now hand it over to our CFO, Venkatesh Gadiyar, to walk us through the detailed numbers for the quarter.
Yeah, thank you, Arnab. We'll have a financial update. For a Q1 FY24, our net revenues were 188 crores we saw a year-on-year growth of 49%. While we have ramped up our revenues during the 4 quarters of the last year, however, during this quarter, especially Q1, there was a disruption in the EMS planned transition, and also there were few component variable delays has resulted in the lower revenues. This was a short-term issue, and we have faced this in this quarter, and we have fixed this now, and will improve on our supply chain deliveries from Q2 onward. And in addition to this, we had to pay for some spot buy charges to secure our components, and where those costs could not be passed on to our customers fully, hence the margins remain challenged in this quarter. And we have been reviewing closely and talking to our vendors, and we believe the situation is expected to improve at the close of this financial year. And the EBIT loss and the PBT loss for the quarter was 81 crore and 66 crore respectively. In terms of the cost, we have been continuing to invest upfront primarily on account of the on hiring on the R&D front, which is meant for the future readiness. We had incurred the losses during the Q1 as we could not absorb certain fixed costs which are fixed in nature, and as the product margins have been impacted due to the increased component prices. And the PAT loss includes the additional deferred tax credit on account of the tax loss and the MAT credit amounting to 18.7 crores, which has been recognized during the Q1. And the earning loss per share was 1.56 per share. Next slide. Yeah, the cash flow from operations for the quarter was cash outflow from the operations for the quarter was 289 crore, primarily due to increase in the inventory. We continue to build the inventory higher, and we have secured a long lead components for expediting the delivery of several critical large orders. Inventory has been increased by 225 crores during Q1, and the total inventory stands to 872 crores as of 30th June 2023. The working capital has been increased in Q1 by 263 crores, primarily due to increase in the inventory, which has been built up for the expanding delivery of certain critical large orders. And receivable has been, marginally came down, and the closing receivable as of 30th June was rupees 501 crore. And we have a healthy cash and equivalents as of 30th June 2023 is 943 crores, and we don't have any debt. And finally, the net worth is a strong net worth of 2,984 crores as of 30th June 2023. With this, I'll hand over to Arnav once again.
Thanks, Venkatesh. We'll move to the next slide. So this gives a profile of the business that we executed in Q1. The right-hand side pie chart shows that the run rate revenues were 79% of our overall business in Q1. There was growth in all segments of our business, including India government, India private, and international. However, while the run rate business is 79% right now, we expect the government sector to dominate for the next 12 to 18 months because of the large BSNL 4G order. We also have a healthy closing backlog of 1,900 crores, and about 50 to 60% of this will be executed in this financial year. And we have also a state of largely the backlog is in India, and a portion of that is for the international sector. Next slide. Yeah, this is just to refresh, for those who have not, have been tracking our products and business. So we now have a comprehensive end-to-end portfolio across wireline and wireless. In wireless, we have a comprehensive solution of 4G and 5G products where we continue to invest and grow our R&D investments in. In wireline, we also have products that can build end-to-end networks for carriers and service providers across access with a wide variety of access solutions and metro aggregation solutions built around packet technologies and OTN, and the metro core and long-haul technology based on high-capacity WDM transport and core OTN switching. So with this portfolio, we address a very large addressable market globally, and with this portfolio, we have the ability of building end-to-end networks across wireless and wireline, and the ability to provide optimized solutions to customers, which reduce their capex and opex costs. Next. Yeah. So in summary, with a healthy order book of 900 crores for our wireline business, and with the outlook for significant wireless business this year, we expect to accelerate our quarterly revenue growth significantly. We have successfully commissioned the pilot network of 200 sites of BSNL 4G. The product is working stably, working very well, and with the state of the network, BSNL has done a soft launch of the network. And we expect to ramp up our supplies for deployment from this quarter. We continue to make significant investment in R&D and manufacturing operations as we scale up our business and look forward to healthy business growth over the next few quarters and years. So I come to the end of the presentation and we'll open the floor for questions.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question comes from the line of Vimal Gohil from Alchemy Capital Management. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. And formally welcome Mr. Anand on his first formal call as CEO. Sir, just wanted to understand, this the company has had, or last couple of years, company faced similar challenges in terms of raw material shortages with vendors, because of which they could not execute their order book. How different are the challenges at this point in time? And given the outlook that you offered, do you see us crossing our quarterly revenue run rate of 300 crores next quarter? That would be my question number 1. Thanks.
Yeah. So we don't give quarterly revenue guidance, but as you mentioned that there were component challenges in the past. And they are there while it is coming down slowly. They are still there. However, this quarter, we also had a one-time event of one of our EMS partners transitioning their plant from one location to another. So that caused a one-time disruption of our supply chain this year. But we hope to catch up on our shipments, or supplies and shipments in the subsequent quarters.
Right. And so, would you be able to quantify this impact?
I think the quantifying the impact of the EMS transition, you mean?
Yes, sir. What was the impact of this transition of your vendor transitioning to EMS vendor transition?
I would not like to quantify the number, but we would have had a larger quarter for sure without this impact of 6 to 7 weeks that we had. And so, but this is behind us now, and we have caught up, and I think things are in full steam right now. So we'll be in a much better shape this quarter.
Right. No, because if I were to look at the quarterly decline, it's quite large. Close to 40%. So majority of it has come because of that disruption. Right?
Yes, that's correct.
Understood. Now coming to the order book, sir. Over the last year in FY23, we had consistently reported improvement in our total order book. We started FY23 at about 1,200 crores of order book and ended at almost 2,000 crores. this quarter, we have not seen that order accretion which we would typically expect on a quarter-on-quarter basis. So why has that happened? That is part number one. And the second part is just one clarification. This is just the wireline order book, right? This does not include the wireless piece at this point in time.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so this does not include the wireless piece, right?
This does not include the wireless piece.
Okay. And sir, so what would be the reason why we have seen a slight decline in the order book on a QOQ basis?
Yeah, so there is first of all, we do not give QOQ numbers. We just give the outstanding order book. And one of the reasons is that, of course, we executed on part of the order book. And secondly, because of our outstanding supplies to many customers, right? And what is happening is that a lot of the customers are waiting for the shipments to happen for backfilling the order book as well. So that should, it should come back, it should get filled up soon, as and when we start executing and delivering on our supplies.
Yes, and so Q2 of FY24 should also see some improvement in the order book outstanding also. Fair assessment, sir?
Yeah, well, I don't want to quantify that right now, but yes, our bookings and all will, as we progress along the year, order book will remain strong. From the business outlook that we see, our order book will remain strong for the year.
Understood, sir. And the last question for me is on margin. I understand. In terms of components prices, what we have been reading, probably if you can correct us, we have been reading about the raw material prices cooling down for several components, whereas our margins don't really reflect that. So what is the issue here at hand? When can we see a significant improvement in margins purely because of reduction in your prices of raw materials coming down? Thank you.
Yeah. So, yes, while we have been hearing and experiencing improvements in the chip supplies, but it has not happened across the board enough for us to be able to, to control the process. In the sense that what happens on cost of goods or margins is that when we don't get timely supplies, we have to look around and source components at higher costs, with expedite fees or from spot buys and all, which are basically one-off events, doesn't reflect our product costs and margins. But basically the lead time is what leads to this. So as and when this corporate supply situation and lead time situation comes under control, our product margins will come back to normal.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I'll come back in the queue.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Sugandhi Sood from InCred Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Yes, hi. Thanks for taking my question. I wanted to understand, we hear a lot of, get a lot of information on the scope of the contract with BSNL, but, and you already mentioned.
Sorry, we lost you, Sugandhi.
Yep, we have lost the line of Ms. Sugandhi. Next in line is Mr. Vimal Gohil. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So, sir, my follow-up would be in terms of the breakup at this point in time. Would it be fair to say that our entire revenues coming from Sankhya, which is about 20-odd crores, that would be via less business, and rest of the 167 crores would be wireline? Would that be a fair breakup of our business for wireless and wireline?
Yes, that would be a fair breakup. The wireless, yes, is a combination of the different products they have for broadcast and SATCOM and all. It's a combination of that. And all of Tejas' business is entirely wireline.
Right. Sir, just one clarification. In the India government piece, I think last year or last quarter, we saw about 87 crores worth of orders for India government, which has fallen quite substantially despite us, servicing some of the government or rather BSNL contracts. So why has the revenue fallen? Is it that we have executed the order and still not billed them? Or is it that the money is yet to come from that?
So question was, why has the India government business fallen, you're saying?
Yes, that's it.
As compared to last quarter, yeah. So one of the reasons was that last quarter was the initial the ramp up the major supplies for one particular customer when the major shipments happened for his project. And so that time we saw, a big jump. That's why we saw a bigger number over there, because the majority supplies happened in last quarter, and the tail end of that and other government supplies happened in this quarter. So that's why it's a kind of a one-off event.
Right. Sir, can I go ahead with one more if it's okay?
Sure.
Yeah. So, sir, in terms of, the EMS supplier that we are working with, I'm sure these are not exclusive suppliers. They would be working with some of the other players as well. So is it that, for temporarily, maybe our size is a bit of a disadvantage with our scale, and our competitors in this space would be much larger, so they would probably be given more priority in some sense in terms of component, in terms of their component supplies. So is it an industry-wide problem, or is it that our scale is a bit of a disadvantage for the moment only?
Okay. No. First of all, I think the EMS partners, they manufacture. The sourcing, the component suppliers are different from the EMS partners that we have, who basically put the product together, run the PCB assembly and stuff like that. So those people have a lot of capacity. One is we are with large EMS vendors who have a lot of capacity, and we have not seen any shortage of capacity from them to execute on our business. I think whatever shortfall we have is because the components did not arrive in time. Okay, and so that is the root cause and not the capacity of the EMS. However, having said that, because in anticipation of much larger shipments happening over the next 3 quarters, we have proactively scaled up our EMS capacity also by signing up 3 more EMS partners in addition to what we have right now. Okay?
Understood. And sir, what would be our order book in the wireless segment right now?
Yeah, so we don't split that, and as you mentioned, that our current order book that we mentioned is entirely in wireline, and wireless order book will be driven by largely BSNL 4G among others, but that would be the dominant part, and we are yet to disclose that right now.
Okay, so in future, are we looking to disclose that?
We will disclose that as and when we. As I said, we are ramping up for supplies this quarter. The process of, the PO and execution is happening. As and when the POs are coming in, we will certainly disclose.
Understood. All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, and all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Ashka Trivedi from Tejas Securities Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello, Bhaskar. We can't hear you.
Ms. Trivedi, please go ahead with your questions.
Sir, am I audible now? Hello?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah.
Yes, you're audible.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening. So my question is that we have received initial orders on GPON OLT supplies from a Tier 1 telco in India. So can you quantify the order size for this order?
No, because this is also run rate customers, and with run rate customers, we have a multi-year agreement for sourcing quarter by quarter. So while we have an idea of the business that we're going to execute over the next 3 years in the 3-year cycle, there is no one-time order or one-time number that we can talk about, and we also don't disclose customer-specific business. We just wanted to indicate that it's a Tier 1 customer, because that means it's a long procurement cycle and a long-term price contract as well.
Okay, sir. So as far as what I understand is that it is a incremental order, like this is not a one-time order, right?
So this is like, the tier 1 process happens like that. Once you get qualified and once you finish your field trials and early deployments, because we have an agreement in terms of the number of years or quarters of supplies, and they keep buying every quarter and deploy. Okay, there's no one-time buy which happens for 1 year or 2 years kind of thing. It's not a tender. It's like a running forecast and a run rate order which happens. So there is no. So that's how it happens. It's not really, as you termed it, incremental. It is a run rate order which will happen quarter over quarter for the next 3 years.
Okay. And sir, we have successfully launched a beta launch of a BSNL network in Amritsar. So sir, what is the plan going forward? Like which city are we targeting next? If you can just highlight that.
Yeah. So the deployment, the supply and deployment will happen as per BSNL's plan. So they are doing a nationwide rollout. So they are kind of telling us circle-wise where they will be deploying and what quantities and what bands and all those kind of things. So as and when we manufacture, we will be shipping as per that requirement. So it is not a target for us to say that this city or that city. It will, the next few supplies will happen. Deployment will happen across multiple cities at the same time, based on their deployment plans.
Okay. And sir, apart from supplying the wireless, we are also doing maintenance contracts for BSNL?
Sorry?
In future or?
So maintenance contract. Yeah, for any product supplies are also always follow with services order, AMCs and stuff like that for supporting the products and the networks that we have supplied. That's a typical that always happens with any product supplies. So yes, that will also be part of our business.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Asha.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Sugandhi Sood from InCred Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Yes, hi. Am I audible?
Yes, Sugandhi, you're audible now.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to understand, the wireless contract for BSNL. Is there any? Can you give us any indication on the pace of rollout? The broad scope of the contract. Over the next 1 to 2.5 years. How do you expect to pace it out? In terms of 30%, 20%, right?
Yeah, so I'll give you an overall idea. The entire supply and rollout is expected over 12 to 18 months. And this range will depend on how fast we supply and how fast BSNL is able to deploy. But there is a very aggressive rollout plan as of now because BSNL wants to roll out that network very quickly and get into the 4G business. So 12 to 18 months is our understanding and agreement with them is the timeline for supplying and deploying the network.
Sure, sir. And I understand. So how can we expect, what kind of impact should we expect on the, in terms of your inventory situation or, your receivable situation, given that this would be a compressed order, in terms of, we've seen some pressure on receivables in the past with government-related contracts. So, if you can give us some indication of, what are the broad terms of, in terms of the number of DSO days, etc., that can be expected, or, compared to where we are currently, how would that trend?
Yeah, you asked several questions over here. First of all, with respect to the inventory situation, as you have seen, and as Venkatesh mentioned, they have already started putting in components and started manufacturing for executing the volumes supplies. So definitely, what happens is that manufacturing happens in a particular quarter, and shipments happens towards the end of the quarter or early next quarter. So you will see a lot of inventory buildup as well as shipments happening over the next few quarters along with this network, right? And as regards, payments and all our concerns, that we are, we fully understand the milestone-based payment of supplies in this project for supplies and deployment, etc. And we have worked out our processes along with TCS, our SI partner, to ensure timely project execution and collections.
Sure. Thank you. So another bookkeeping question is, in terms of last year you had capitalized R&D to the tune of around 180 crores, and I noticed that your R&D headcount has also nearly doubled. So could you give us an outlook of how much more capacity creation you would be doing over the next 2 years on the employee front?
Yeah, no, I think we're in a significant investment mode right now because what we are seeing, the opportunities right now is basically the start of what we see, what our plans are for the future. We want to definitely, based on the back of our current business, we want to go international, scale our international business significantly, and also as part of this, expand our product portfolio as well. So with that kind of a vision, we are continuing to invest, we're continuing to grow. So in a growth of R&D headcount, supply chain capacity will certainly happen over the next few quarters. That's certainly going to continue over the next few quarters.
So we can expect similar pace of growth this year at least?
Yes.
And thank you, sir. And could you give us any idea about, how the, government is becoming a very large portion this year would impact your gross margins? I mean, component changes in component supply aside, if that was to remain as it is today, what kind of margin change can we expect?
Given the size of the business, given the size of the volume of the government orders, and given that we knew that what was coming and what was going to get manufactured, we are working closely with our component suppliers to be able to manage costs and optimize costs, because based on this large volume, yes, it is a challenging deal, but we are managing it, with our design optimizations and our negotiations with our partner. So the overall, I think the margins will be well within our expectations, and we are fully prepared to manage this.
No, sir, my question was more on the lines, traditionally you've done 40% sort of gross margins, and, wireless becoming is an incremental business for us, and, this is our first order. So, as an investor, what kind of impact can we expect the changing product mix to have on the gross margins?
So, see, the product gross margins in terms of a mix, and because of this government, because please understand, because the business size is also very large, right? So, given the business size is large, we can also work with slightly lower product margins because of the overall size of the business, right? But as I said, the impact of this in terms of being able to negotiate with component vendors and having a side impact of our other business also with common components, overall margin, the blended margin for our business will not be impacted. I think it will be as we see it right now.
Sure, sir. That's very helpful. Yes, that will be it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Ritesh Poladia from Kirik Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Sir, on wireline business, that GPON OLT is for broadband, or the application is different?
Yeah, the application is residential and enterprise broadband.
Okay, yeah. Sir, on BSNL 4G, one of your other consortium partner has already declared for 3,900 crore purchase order. So why there is a delay to sign up a purchase order with Tejas?
No. There is no. Okay, we are not aware of that, but the consortium has received the purchase order from BSNL, as you are aware, right? And you know the full scope of their order as well. So what is happening is that because our purchase orders, is like based on circles and deliveries to each and every circle kind of thing, right? So we are expecting our purchase orders to come, circle-wise. So that's the reason why it's not a one-time order, and as and when these orders come in, we'll be sharing with you, the business that we're getting for BSNL 4G. So there is no delay. It's basically breaking up the plan into smaller units based on states and circles and all those kind of things, and that's what we will receive. We'll keep receiving as we execute our project.
So, apart from that consortium partner, all the sites would be done by you, or will there be also another partner be sharing it?
So, all of the RAN, radio access network equipment, the radios and the baseband units and all the sites, all of that will be supplied by Tejas. There is the other consortium partner, which will be supplying the core software. That's what they will be supplying, and we will be supplying the RAN, the radio equipment is what we will be supplying, but for the entire network.
Okay, I'll be little clear. There is a exchange filing by ITI Limited, and they have said that they will manufacture the RAN for the 23,633 sites. So, if you can give us some clarity on this.
They are going to manufacture Tejas equipment. Okay, our equipment is what they're going to manufacture, and we have manufacturing agreements with them to manufacture and supply for their purchase order. But it is going to be all of Tejas equipment.
Okay, so ITI is going to manufacture Tejas equipments only.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So this 3,900 crore order book for 23,000 sites, so this would be the ITI portion, or some of that will come to Tejas also?
So the ITI portion is going to be executed with Tejas equipment. So the equipment portion of that, large portion of that is going to come to Tejas.
Okay, out of this also will come to Tejas only?
Yes.
Okay. So all the about 1 lakh sites, that's what the newspaper is talking about. Everything is made by Tejas. Some portion will go to ITI, and they will supply to the BSNL West Zone.
Yes. So the supply, all of it will be Tejas equipment. Some of them supplied by ITI, some of them, and most of them supplied by TCS.
Okay. That's it from my side. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Ritesh.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Mukul Garg from Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Please go ahead.
Hey, thank you. Hi, Arnav. First, on this whole ITI versus TCS issue, so just to help understand this better, when ITI is kind of sharing that they will have a specific amount of production capacity for this order, does that not give us visibility in terms of how much of revenue?
Yeah, Mukul, can you come a little bit closer to the mic? Your voice a little.
Is this better?
Yes.
Sorry. So I was just trying to understand the ITI part of the equation. I understand, for the other part, the shareholder approval has, happened, and I think the final purchase order is still not in place. But for the ITI one, if they have announced, the order portion, their portion of the order, does that mean that you have received the order from them, or is it mostly an indicative size from their end?
Yeah, it is like, as you know, the consortium has also received a purchase order, right, of a very large amount. What was it? 15,000? crores, right? So 15,000 crores they published, right? The consortium has got it. So they know the whole entire deal size they have published, and similarly, ITI has published their size of the order. But when it comes to supplies, that will be broken down into circle-wise purchase orders as well for ITI. Okay, so it will be the same mechanism, except that here ITI will be the supplier, and their TCS will be the supplier, and we will be the equipment supplier to both of them.
Right. And is it fair to assume that the inventory buildup which has happened over last few quarters is mainly to kind of prepare for this large order, given that the timelines will be quite compressed?
You got it right. That's correct. In anticipation of compressed delivery timelines, we have ordered and we have started building up inventory of components and some finished goods so that we can deliver quickly.
Understood. Now, just the second question was on this DWDM order in Africa. Is it fair to assume that this is a long haul order?
Yeah. So basically, it is for one of our regular customers. It is not. Just one order. This is, as you know, we build a Pan-African network for this customer. It is more of the point was more of some of our new technology has gone into turning up some of the links or some of the very high capacity links connecting, data centers of some of their web scale customers. So this was a kind of a new high-end technology, and so this was something significant milestone from our side. So that's what the highlight is. So, but it's not a single order. The same technology is going to be rolled out across their network across Africa.
Right, but does this imply that you guys have expanded into the long haul side of optical network as well with this kind of client confirmation, and that would kind of expand your addressable market there, or is it more of a client specific thing and you really are not focusing too much on the long haul side of the equation?
So we are in long-haul WDM, okay? This was more of a capacity expansion with, high-speed, data-carrying waves, let me put it this way, right? So like people build the long-haul networks, they can build it 100 gig lambdas or waves or 200 gig or 400 gig, 600 gig. So we have all the technology. So this was more of a building a showcase network for demonstrating a very high capacity long-haul WDM technology. But we have been in the building long-haul networks with our WDM technology for a while.
Okay. Coming to this, the GPON OLT order, initial order which you have received, what's your sense? This was in the pipeline for a long time. Are you kind of getting signs from this customer that they are finally starting to accelerate meaningfully, or is there still the visibility on this client spending accelerate is quite low?
No, I think they have started their rollout significantly. We are getting rolling run rate orders, kind of week over week, quarter over quarter. So now the rollout is now accelerating right now, and our business with them is growing. So we are past the initial phase of early supplies and pilot deployment and trials, and then software integration and all those kind of things. I think basically this means that we are past all that phase, and now it's just ramping up supplies and ramping up deployment for the customers. We are in that phase right now.
Great to hear that. Thanks for taking my question. I'll get back into the queue.
Thanks, Mukul.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Sohan Joshi from ASC Consultants. Please go ahead.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, Sohan, you are audible.
I just want to ask, when are the benefits from a partnership with Renaissance going to come? I mean, what was the partnership with Renaissance about? Was it into manufacturing, designing, or end-to-end solutions? Or is it going to help in solving our problem of supply chain? Because the government has intended to spend more on BharatNet, and with massive spends by private telcos and capex for 5G, the opportunity is massive. So just wanted to understand. I mean, the Renaissance, the management of Renaissance was recently on visit to India and also met the top officials of government. So did we progress more on that partnership? Just wanted to get the color of it.
Yeah, I think the Renaissance partnership had two dimensions. One was as a supplier to our new products, especially in wireless. So they are one of our suppliers. So that's one part of the partnership. The other part of the partnership is also joint development of some new technology, which we cannot disclose right now. But we are also working with them for specifying and working on the new generation of semiconductor components which we are going to use. So we are getting into specifics. So these are the two dimensions of our partnership agreement with Renata.
Okay. That's it from my side. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Wish you good luck.
Thanks, Rohan.
Thank you. Next question comes on the line of Vimal Gohil from Alchemy Capital Management. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, I have a slightly long-term question. Given the fact that, we are seeing a lot of growth ahead, of course, that comes with the opportunity that is present at this point in time. How is the top management looking to balance revenue growth and profitability? Are we taking that approach that, we want to capture as much growth as possible, and probably, after that we'll be looking to stabilize our profitability goals, or will it be a balance of both? How should we look at this over a longer period of time? Thank you.
Yeah. So no, absolutely. I think it's a good question, and yes, the short answer is yes. We are driving towards profitability over the year, and we are taking all steps. We understand. So we had right now we had some short-term challenges. The products are very well optimized and designed, and we expect our standard margins that we have been having over the years. Post-COVID, we've run into this component supply challenges, and very recently some of our EMS partner challenges, logistics challenges. But we expect these are all one-off events. They're short-term events, and very soon things will stabilize and we'll be back to normal business with the normal margins that we have been doing all along. So this is not a question of buying out the business with zero margins and then looking how to improve our margins. It's not like that. I think we are working with healthy margins. So some of the deals initial margins might be lower than our standard, but we have a clear-cut. We win these deals with a clear-cut margin recovery plans, so that over time we get back to normal and recover our margins. And so we are not distracted by short-term events happening that have been affecting our supplies and the business and margins. But long term, we don't see any these issues going away, and we coming back to steady state with normal operations and normal costs.
So it's going to be growth along with profitability. It's not either or. Right?
Absolutely. They're looking
all right. That's great to hear that. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Mubashir Hussain Ansari from Hyderabad Investment Forum. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my concern is also about the margins. Recently, the CEO of TCS has given an interview saying that this 4G project for BSNL is for nation building and it is not for margins. So in this context, are we also going to get some margins, or is it going to be like a communist enterprise? Just focus on the top line and don't get any profit. So I need some clarity on this.
Yeah. I think that was a general comment from his side, which basically indicated the commitment of TCS towards this business, towards building this network. And so just to qualify that, he kind of said that is more important than anything else, and profits and all this kind of thing. There's sort of more of a general comments about the vision on the business, but no one is in this business for losing money or not making any money. And certainly not us, I can assure you that. And, our products are designed that, even in the competitive bids that we have, that we will be profitable. And the good thing is that the large volume gives us the leeway to be able to drive down product costs to ensure that we are healthy and profitable in this deal.
Hello?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Aditya Mehta from GK Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So my question is with regards to BSNL 4G order that the consortium has received. So what will the Tejas share in overall order, and how much do we plan to execute within this financial year?
As far as execution is concerned, as I said, the goal is, starting from this quarter, it will be within 12 to 18 months. Regarding specific share of the order that the consortium has received, I mean, we cannot share any numbers right now. But what as we told you that, we are going to receive the circle-wise POs and start shipping. And as and while we receive those POs, we're going to share, certainly disclose the size of the business from here. Upfront, we don't want to disclose the absolute numbers, but the size of the overall deal, and you can work out whatever the equipment portions and all those kind of things.
Okay, so this 15,000 crore order, that advance purchase order that we have received, does it fully cover 1 lakh sites? Because there were some articles that the deal value will be around 24,000 crores.
Yeah, this covers 1 lakh sites. 1 lakh sites of 4G equipment.
So that 24,000 crores order has been revised to 15,000 crores.
Yes, because it's 100,000 sites and it's 4G, and as and when the number of sites increase, I mean, those will go up. But I think once we start executing on those orders, all those things will come later on.
And last question on our receivables. So we will be getting payments from the BSNL or via the consortium?
We'll be getting payments from TCS.
TCS. Okay, thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Venkata Suresh Kumar from Puram Financials. Please go ahead.
Ganesh Rajesh line. Hello?
Yes, Venkatesh, I can hear you.
Sir, is audible? Suresh?
Yes.
Sir, thank you giving the opportunity. Sir, my two questions. First question is, Sir, Tejas is planning to take over of Concall Lab. You are going to semiconductor business? This is the first question. So second question is,
wait, I couldn't hear your first question. Your voice slipped in between. Something related to semiconductors you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Could you please repeat
my question?
Please repeat.
Sir, you are take over the Concall Lab in Bangalore. You are planning going for business expansion in semiconductor business?
Okay. Yeah. So I think, as you know, we are, for our products, we are very big consumers of semiconductors, right, in designing our products, right? And so with Concall's capability, that also gives us the opportunity to design semiconductors customized for our products, or optimize our products, as well as, being able to serve other markets where semiconductors are required, right? So we are kind of crafting our strategy in this space, but yes, we do intend to use Concall's capabilities in semiconductor design and manufacturing to both grow and impact our business as well as other opportunities in other sectors as well.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question. Actually, you got the BSNL 1 lakh towers there. But you are making total equipment. Your Tejas is making any other partners like ITI and Valiant and CTAI. What he is giving another orders. He will give stipulated. You can understand, sir, my question.
Yeah. I can understand, Venkatesh. So basically, for this BSNL 4G order, all of the radio access network equipment, that means the equipment which goes into a base station to the towers, right, which includes the radio equipment at the top of the tower and baseband equipment at the bottom of the tower, all of that equipment is only Tejas equipment, completely designed and manufactured by us for all the 100,000 sites. As I mentioned, ITI is another partner like TCS who's going to source equipment from us and they're going to supply. But all of that equipment is going to be a pure Tejas equipment.
Okay. Any other CT consultants and variant also? They were the partners. You can load the equipment. Any other orders, sir? You will give CT.
Not in this network. We do work with Valiant for other applications in our wireline space, but in this particular application, there is no partnership with Valiant for this.
Only for wire network.
For our wireline business, we have some partnerships for some complementary equipment, but not in the wireless space.
In cyber security, sir?
Sorry, in cyber security.
Cyber security products in some Tejas is marketing some stall in conduct in USA exhibition with Valiant.
No, we are not into making cyber security products. We are users of cyber security products, but we do not make cyber security products, software or hardware. We don't do that.
Actually, you are conducting in stall in USA, Tejas and joint for Valiant. You have conducted a stall. That company only for Valiant. You are joint for same that product.
You're talking about the trade show in the US?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think one of the trade shows is for the utility sector. We participate in that, and as I said, some of our solutions in the wireline space, especially for the utility sector, is in partnership with Valiant, where we make complementary products which work together for for the smart grid, and that is the solution we demonstrated in one of the US trade fairs.
Okay, you are utility partner, utility sector, the joint venture of yes?
No, there is no joint venture. It's a joint solution with our product.
Joint
solution. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Venkatesh.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Hiren Kumar Thakurlal Desai, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
My questions have been more or less answered. I have just one question. So, to be able to build this huge BSNL order inventory, will we be required to take on some debt on our books?
Take on what?
Some debt loans.
So as of now, I think we have planned our cash flows with our balancing our supplier payments and our receivables and our collections. So as of now, we have worked out the cycles that ensure that we will be able to manage our working capital properly for executing these orders.
Okay. That's it.
So, we want one last question, please.
Thank you. Should I take the last question?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. The next question comes from the line of Bhavya Doshi, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I have two questions. One was on the geopolitical side. We are seeing some, US banning some, chips and China banning some key materials that is going to basically disrupt some semiconductor supply. So are we seeing any component disruption happening within our supply chain? Is there any early sign of stress? That was one. And second, if you can shed some light on the Tata Tele, business that we have won recently, and also what kind of order book that we're going to execute during this financial year, out of 1,900 crores.
So first of all, this U.S.-China geopolitical tensions, I think that has been going on for a while, right? So I don't think this issue particularly has impacted our supply chain or our semiconductor supplies. A lot of the high-end semiconductor components anyway don't come from China. Our use of Chinese components is very low in our product. So this particular issue has not created any problems. In fact, our good diplomatic relationship with the US has only helped us in this regard. So this has not been a problem. That's first of all. Second, related to Tata Tele. So Tata Tele uses several technologies, several kinds of products in their networks. They have been using WDM equipment, and very recently they also bought our GPON equipment. So it's like a combination of equipment that they have bought. Very recently they have also bought switches and all those kind of things for building the network. So Tata Tele also a customer which uses multiple products as a solution for building their network. So it's not one product, and they are also pretty good run rate customer for us.
Okay. And what kind of, how much of the order book are we going to execute in this financial year out of the 1,900 crores?
Yeah, as I mentioned, around 50 to 60% of that will be executed in this financial year.
Okay, and just one last question, if I can squeeze in. So on the profitability side, you've explained that you're trying to strike the balance between growth and the margins. But do we have any internal targets till what time are we expecting to become a cash flow positive, at least on the operating level, as a cash flow operating business? Are we having any internal targets per se?
Yeah. As I mentioned, we are driving for profitability, for this financial year.
Okay, this financial year we are expecting to be cash flow positive, on operating level at least.
We are working towards that, yes.
Okay, that's all from my side. Thank you. All the best.
Okay, so I think thanks everyone. I'll kind of hand over to Anand, our CEO, for any last closing comments.
Hi. So the closing comments, actually I'm pretty excited to be here. We have a good, healthy order book, for this year and beyond to execute, and also excited about the significant wireless business. This actually puts us on a global map. And I'm also very excited about the successful pilot of 200 sites for BSNL 4G. And, we are planning, putting all stops to ensure that the supplies for deployment happen in Q2, right? And as we have profitability, so we are, going to invest to grow. At the same time, we want to very closely operate, manage our manufacturing operations to scale up our business and also control costs, right? So I think we are going to be on a trajectory, and I'm pretty excited to be, part of that trajectory. Arnab?
Yeah. So thanks Anand, and thanks everyone for attending the call, and look forward to interacting with you over the quarter and in the future as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of ICICI Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.